first night of the professional basketball career of Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever taking on the Connecticut Sun. Chiney, that's your team, and we'll show you a lot of it was a Charles Dickens kind of night for Caitlin Clark. It was the best of times and the worst of times.
I messed up and said Shakespeare last time. I need to go back to school.
A lot of turnovers, and that was one of the storylines.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? Everyone has a welcome to the league game, and maybe because all the eyeballs were on her and she has the ball in her hands, you saw plenty of those moments. She was going up against the best defense in the WNBA, but she was still relentless. I mean, this was her first basket, which came in the second quarter.
And then you're going to see that's her first WNBA bucket. We'll show you her first three as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Caitlin was she played really well when she was given space. The issue was she didn't have that much space all night. That moment with Aaliyah Boston was probably my favorite moment of the game. The leadership of Aaliyah Boston, who also didn't have her kind of night that we're used to Aaliyah Boston having, leading Caitlin. Caitlin has to learn. Caitlin's a rookie. She's not going to come out here and just be this incredible player.
20 points, 10 turnovers. Sun win the game. Here's Caitlin after.
Obviously, it wasn't like the best start in the first half for myself. Getting into foul trouble, and then you got to sit on the bench and try to come back into the game and get into a little bit of a flow. But obviously, too many turnovers. That's not going to get the job done. But I think just a lot to learn from. You know, it's the first one. There's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones. And, you know, like we said in the locker room, like we play on Thursday. You got to learn from it and move on and be ready to go.
Their next game is Thursday. That'll be her home debut, and then they'll be back here in New York, in Brooklyn, for a game against the Liberty on Saturday. So, what did you see last night, Andraya Carter?
I saw Caitlin Clark in her first WNBA game facing the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
The Connecticut Sun are known for their defense. That's what they do. They're physical, they're fast. Dejanay Carrington is an elite defender who I think is coming into this season with something to prove. She proved it and started to prove it in yesterday's game. But listen, the thing about the Connecticut Sun, 2 seasons ago they were in the finals. Last season they were in the semis. This is an experienced team. Caitlin's team isn't even an experienced team. Caitlin's not an experienced player, and it showed in the turnovers. There were some passes that Caitlin made that she could get away with at the college level that she has to learn are not going to work at this level.
Let's remind everybody, it's like a month since she was playing for Iowa to now playing pros. She has the ball in her hands, and she's going to make mistakes because she's an unselfish player. So this is not surprising considering she's going up against the Connecticut Sun. I played with those ladies. Alyssa Thomas is a bad woman. Dejanay Carrington can guard anyone on the planet in single coverage. So this was the hardest, probably the worst matchup to open the gates with. But we saw her relentlessness. We saw her fortitude to keep going and her learning. Watch this play right here. You never pick up the ball that far away from the basket. In college, you can really burn teams off of one action, but that second action, that second layer of defense, they will pick you off. Again, here's the double team. She sees a player open, but really it's Bree Jones. Welcome back, Bree Jones. 2 playing 1, able to get the steal. And then again, watch this final turnover. She's in the open floor. Typically, your teammates will turn on the jets. Nope, that's AT. She puts the defensive clamps on. She can read that. She's ambidextrous, uses her left hand and her right to get the steal. So again, in college, you know, you're dribbling, you throw a pass, typically you catch and score. No, in the W, there's a second defender waiting, and so I think we saw the learning curve in real time. But still, for her to get 20 points, and you know, she's gonna learn from this. That's the hardest way to learn. When you have 10 turnovers, I think she'll still bounce back.
That's the amazing thing about the elite defenders in this league, right? Like, I'm watching that play from Alyssa Thomas. She's not even looking towards Caitlin. It's her peripheral vision where she can just tap the ball and take it to the other end. There are elite defenders in this league. Caitlin's going to get better, but it doesn't stop here. When I think about some of the defenders, Skylar Diggins-Smith,
Natasha Cloud,
Jackie Young, like the defenders are next level. And even the play with Bree Jones, she's hiding behind Aaliyah Boston. Is still able to get, but that also goes to Caitlin's teammates. They're going to have to learn and figure out how to play with Caitlin, how to relieve her of pressure. Her usage rate was 41%. That was her usage rate at Iowa. It shouldn't be that high in the WNBA. We've expected Caitlin to come to this league and have less pressure on her. She had the same usage rate, but that comes with playing with
Make sure all the fans understand it's an advanced statistic. Make sure everyone understands what that means.
Usage rate is the possessions, the amount of possessions that end with a turnover, with an assist, with a made shot. Like the amount of possessions that end with Caitlin doing something.
And I guess the most important thing is that in the pros, you want that usage to go down. Because in Iowa, you needed her to do everything. At the pros, you're playing with Aaliyah Boston, who I believe led the WNBA in field goal percentage of like 60-something%. And so, yeah, this is game 1. They're going to look at the tape. They're going to get better. But I think Caitlin, she still showed signs of the great vision. Now she has to understand that the IQ goes up, especially knowing that these defenders can read her mind as well.